Something unbelievable is about to unfold in Blood of My Blood Season 2. The moment Henry, Julia, and baby William stepped toward the stones, time itself seemed to stop. The light flashed, their hands reached out, and then everything went dark. Did they really make it through? Or did fate tear them apart forever? The mystery of Henry's disappearance is deeper than anyone imagined. Because what if Henry didn't just travel through time, but ended up in an era that was never meant for him? When Blood of My Blood Season 1 ended, fans were left on the edge of their seats. Henry, with his heart pounding and his family beside him, was ready to risk everything to escape through the stones. But the biggest question haunting every viewer's mind remains: where did Henry go? In the new season, it's believed that the stones didn't send them all to the same place. Instead, something went terribly wrong. Henry's determination to protect Julia and William might have changed his entire path through time. The theory most fans are whispering about is that Henry was pulled into the mid-1700s, the era of the Jacobite Rebellion, but not at the same time as Julia. The portal between times has always been unpredictable, even for those who understand it. And Henry, being inexperienced in time travel, might have focused too much on saving his family instead of where he wanted to go. That single mistake could have thrown him decades apart from Julia and William. Imagine Henry arriving in a world full of chaos, where Scottish clans are preparing for battle, and every face looks at him like a stranger. He has no one, no clues, and no idea if Julia even survived. But what makes Henry's disappearance even more mysterious is a clue hidden in Outlander Season 8's early teaser: a man's voice calling Claire Mrs. Fraser. Claire turns around, startled, as if she has seen a ghost from her own family's past. Many believe that man could be Henry. Think about it. Uncle Lamb must have told young Claire stories about her ancestors, and maybe she even saw old photographs of Henry and Julia. So when she meets a man who looks exactly like the one from those pictures, she's frozen in shock. If this theory is true, then Henry didn't just survive. He might have found his way directly into Claire's lifetime. Now, if Henry truly crossed over into Claire's world, it opens a door to one of the most emotional reunions in the Outlander universe. Imagine the moment when Claire realizes that the man standing before her isn't just anyone, but her lost relative, someone from her bloodline who was never meant to live in her time. Their conversation could reveal everything: the truth about Julia, the mystery of the missing baby William, and what really happened when the stones split them apart. Yet, not everything about Henry's journey is peaceful. According to some behind-the-scenes whispers, Henry might not arrive in the same century immediately. Instead, he could be drifting through multiple time layers before stabilizing in Claire's era. This means he could witness moments of history, from the Highland Wars to early modern London, all while searching for signs of his wife and child. The trauma of losing them would weigh heavily on him, turning Henry from a gentle father into a man haunted by time itself. But why would the stones choose to send Henry somewhere else? There's a theory that time itself protects certain timelines. When too many travelers from one family cross at once, the stones may scatter them to preserve balance. In other words, Henry's separation wasn't an accident. It was a consequence. His journey may be part of something far bigger, something even Master Raymond might have foreseen. Remember his cryptic apology to Claire in Season 7? You'll understand when the time comes. Could he have known Henry's fate all along? As Henry struggles to survive in this unfamiliar world, a darker force might be waiting. The Archbug's shadow still lingers, and their obsession with vengeance might follow him even across time. Perhaps someone or something from that cursed lineage made it through the stones too. If that's true, Henry's journey won't just be about finding his family. It'll be about surviving a hunt that began centuries ago. In Blood of My Blood Season 2, Henry's story is set to become a race against destiny itself. Torn between past and future, hunted by enemies who should be long dead, and guided by a fate he barely understands, Henry might discover that the stones didn't just move him through time. They changed him forever. While Henry is lost between centuries, Julia's journey may have taken a far darker turn. The moment she stepped toward the stones with baby William in her arms, something went wrong. Not with the stones themselves, but with her thoughts. Every traveler must picture where, or who, they want to reach. And while Julia was filled with thoughts of Henry, the baby in her arms had none. That tiny detail could have changed everything. Instead of arriving together, Julia and William may have been split apart, two souls cast into different points in time. Julia might awaken in a time she doesn't recognize. The air is colder, the clothes, the people, everything around her seems wrong. No sound of Henry's voice, no cry from William, just silence. Imagine the panic flooding through her heart. She had risked everything to save her family, and now she's utterly alone. But Julia isn't the type to give up. As a woman who has survived war, betrayal, and time travel, she would rise again, desperate to find her son. And this desperate search could lead her straight into one of the darkest storylines the Outlander universe has ever explored. There's a powerful theory that Julia may return not to the 1700s, but to her own original time, the early 20th century. That would mean she could cross paths with her daughter Claire as a child, completely unaware of who she truly is. But according to the novels, Claire never saw her family again after the age of 5. So if Julia travels back, she might be forced to watch Claire from afar, unable to speak, unable to reveal the truth. Imagine her heartbreak as she watches her daughter grow, knowing that she must leave again before time collapses on itself. But there's another possibility, one that ties directly to the mystery of Master Raymond. The wise, mystical man has always appeared at crucial turning points in the Outlander timeline. Some fans believe that Raymond might find baby William, separated during the passage through the stones. Think back to the Outlander Season 7 finale, when Master Raymond looked at Claire and said, "Forgive me." When she asked why, he replied, "You'll find out soon enough." What if his secret wasn't about faith at all, but about William? What if he had raised Claire's lost brother in secret, protecting him from those who might have wanted to use his lineage for power? It's chilling to imagine that while Julia was desperately searching, William was growing up under Master Raymond's care, taught the ways of healing, time, and the hidden laws of the universe. It would explain why Claire never knew about him and why Raymond carried so much guilt. If Blood of My Blood Season 2 follows this path, we might finally understand Raymond's mysterious role in connecting all generations of the Fraser family. He might not just be a guide, but the keeper of their destiny. Meanwhile, Julia's struggle could grow even more dangerous. Remember Archbug's final words in Season 1? His vow to Simon Fraser that he would find Julia and her child? That promise could echo into the new season. If Julia fails to time travel properly, she might land directly in Archbug's grasp. Trapped, powerless, she could once again become a prisoner, this time not only fighting for her freedom but also for the life of her missing son. Simon, already suspicious that William isn't his blood, might try to silence her forever to protect his reputation, but destiny may not be entirely cruel. While imprisoned, Julia might cross paths with people who will later shape the Outlander story itself, Ellen and Brian Fraser. They're young, brave, and compassionate. They could be the ones who hear of Julia's imprisonment and risk everything to help her. This rescue could become one of the most emotional moments of the season. Imagine Julia handing her baby, her only hope, into their arms before setting out again to find Henry. She would trust them because she senses the goodness in their hearts, unaware that she's giving them a child who will one day define the Fraser legacy. This would explain why Ellen and Brian's first son is also named William, a detail that always puzzled fans. Perhaps he isn't their biological child at all. Maybe he's Julia's baby, the same William who vanished through the stones. If true, it would connect the entire Outlander timeline in one breathtaking twist. Henry and Julia's baby, raised by the Frasers, becoming part of the bloodline that shapes the destiny of Claire and Jamie. If Blood of My Blood Season 2 dares to go down this path, we won't just be watching a continuation, we'll be witnessing a rewriting of history. Julia's grief, Master Raymond's secret, Ellen and Brian's compassion, they all become threads in the same fabric of fate. The stones don't just move people through time, they weave their souls together, making sure that love, loss, and legacy always find a way to meet again. But even if Julia finds a glimmer of hope, the storm of the Jacobite rebellion is rising fast. The clash between loyalty and survival, between past and future, will soon consume everyone. And in the middle of that chaos, one question will decide everything. Will Henry ever find his way back to Julia? Henry's search for Julia and William becomes more than just a journey. It turns into an obsession. Every sunrise reminds him that time is moving forward, while his heart is trapped in the past. If Henry truly landed in the mid-1700s, then the Jacobite rebellion would soon begin, tearing Scotland apart. Lost and alone, he learns to survive among the Highlanders, disguising his name and concealing his knowledge of the future. But deep inside, Henry carries a secret only the stones could understand, a sense that somewhere in another place, another century, his family is waiting for him. Weeks turn into months, and Henry starts to feel that the stones are calling to him again. Whispers and dreams, strange lights in the distance, and voices echoing from a time that isn't his own, all pointing him toward a destiny not yet written. Guided by hope and the faint connection of blood, Henry sets out on a treacherous path to find the stones once more. His journey could lead him straight into the chaos of the Jacobite uprising, where loyalty, betrayal, and death walk hand in hand. And this time, the stakes are higher than ever, because finding the stones means risking everything he's become. But as Henry searches, the world around him begins to shift in unexpected ways. Master Raymond's presence, always mysterious, starts to reveal its purpose. Some fans believe Raymond is not bound by time, that he moves between centuries to preserve the balance of history. Perhaps he is the one leaving signs for Henry, guiding him toward the truth. And that truth could shatter everything Henry believes. What if the reason Julia and William vanished wasn't because of an accident, but because the stones chose to separate them, ensuring the survival of their bloodline? Maybe time itself demanded their sacrifice, scattering them across centuries so that one day, Claire and Jamie could exist. Meanwhile, Julia's fate hangs by a thread. If she did reach Ellen and Brian and entrusted William to them, her next mission would be clear: to find Henry again. Imagine her wandering the mist-covered highlands, clutching the memory of the man she loves, unaware that he's fighting in the very same rebellion that could destroy them both. Their paths could cross in the most unexpected way, on opposite sides of a battlefield, or within the ruins of a burning village. In that instant, time might seem to freeze once more, as if the universe is giving them one last chance. And what if that meeting doesn't happen in the past at all? There's another theory, one that sends chills down every fan's spine. Henry might reach the stones again, just moments before the final Jacobite battle, and make a desperate choice. Instead of staying, he travels forward, perhaps to the 20th century, perhaps to Claire's timeline. There, in a quiet corner of history, he could finally discover what became of his wife and son. And if he meets Claire, grown, strong, and unaware of who he truly is, their encounter could change everything. Claire might recognize him not through memory, but through instinct, the unspoken bond of blood. In that emotional meeting, Henry could reveal the truth about the past, about Julia's courage, about Master Raymond's secret, and about the child who grew up to shape the entire Fraser legacy. That revelation would finally connect blood of my blood and Outlander in a way fans have always dreamed of, through the power of family and destiny. The moment Claire realizes that the man before her isn't just a stranger but her ancestor, every unanswered question from both series would fall into place. But time is cruel, and the stones rarely give without taking something in return. Henry's journey might come full circle only through sacrifice. Some fans believe that after helping Claire uncover the truth, Henry could vanish once again, either drawn back into the past or lost forever between timelines. His final act might be one of acceptance, knowing that his family's legacy will live on through Claire and Jamie. A tearful farewell, a touch of the stones, and a fading light, leaving only echoes of his voice across the centuries. Blood of My Blood Season 2 promises to be more than just a story about time travel. It's about love that refuses to die, about fate that bends but never breaks, and about the invisible threads that tie generations together. Whether Henry and Julia find each other or remain lost in time, one thing is certain: their story shaped the very foundation of the Outlander universe. Their choices, their pain, and their courage created the world that Claire and Jamie inherited. And as the final moments of Season 2 unfold, we might see a familiar face gazing into the stones once again. Perhaps Claire herself, standing where it all began, whispering Henry's name. Because in this world, time is not an enemy. It's a circle, one that always brings the lost home. So, as we wait for Blood of My Blood Season 2 to arrive, one question will keep haunting every fan: not, where did Henry go, but will time ever let him return?